Good morning and welcome to the Sunday morning ritual. This week we've been talking about the beginner advantage in our podcast and in our community. It's about becoming a beginner at 50 and how it's not the same as becoming a beginner at 25. And you're not starting from scratch, you're starting from equipped. But there's shame around being a beginner at this age. Shame that says, you should already know this. You're too old. You're too behind. And today we're going to release some of that shame in this ritual. Okay. We're going to honor that beginner so that as the weeks progress, we are going to begin to start that new journey. So let's honor it not through force, but through gentle acknowledgement. So find a comfortable seat, have a pen and paper nearby as always, because today we're going to do some writing as well. This is what we like to call sacred work, so take it seriously, but be gentle with yourself. How we start our Sunday sets the tone for our entire week. So welcome to the Sunday Morning Club, the show dedicated to intentional living and personal growth. I'm Faye Chappell, and on behalf of all of us here at Elevated Living, I invite you to take this time for yourself to find your center and fill up your cup. I'm so glad you're here. Let's begin with breath work. We're going to call it beginner's breath. It's designed to help your nervous system feel safe being a beginner. So we're going to breathe in for 4 counts. We're going to hold for 4, and then we're going to breathe out for 6. We've done this before, so it's not new. You should be able to do this without any reservation. The longer the exhale signals to your nervous system that it's safe to not know. Okay, so if we can exhale on 6, that's increasing that exhale, and it's making the nervous system feel more comfortable. So I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to settle into your seat. And I want you to breathe through your nose for 4 counts. So breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding, 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out for 6 through the mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathing in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathing in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do it again. In for 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's beautiful. Now I want you to let your breath return to its natural rhythm and just notice how your body feels. Maybe a little calmer, maybe a little more open. Whatever you feel is exactly right. So just take it in. Allow yourself on this Sunday morning to be calm and relaxed and ready to go. I want you to keep your eyes closed, and let's dive into a little bit of a guided meditation. This is a visualization practice for really honoring the beginner. So I want you to settle in again and get comfortable. Keep your breathing natural and just enjoy the peace and calm and serenity. And I want you to imagine yourself as a beginner, learning something new, something you're not good at yet. Maybe it's a new skill, a new career, a new technology, whatever it is, I want you to see yourself as a beginner. Now notice, what does that feel like in your body? Is there like a tightness? Is there shame? Are you embarrassed? Just notice it. Do not fix it. I just want you to notice what that feels like. I hope you've picked something that you are a true beginner at. Don't skimp on this. This is a really great exercise. And now I want you to imagine, what if being a beginner was honorable? What if it wasn't a deficit but a choice? What if it meant you were brave enough to start something new? Think about that. Now imagine your younger self, maybe when you're 25, also a beginner. See them learning, struggling, figuring it out, okay? And now you imagine your current self, 50, 60, 70, also a beginner. See yourself learning, struggling, figuring it out. Now I want you to ask yourself, what does current you have that younger you did not? Maybe it's patience, maybe it's wisdom, maybe it's the ability to ask for help. Maybe it's the knowledge of what actually matters, right? I want you to say to yourself, I honor the beginner I am. I bring decades of wisdom to this new thing. That's my advantage. I want you to say it again. I honor the beginner I am. One more time. I honor the beginner I am. Good. Now gently, I want you to bring your awareness back to your body. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. You know, it's an interesting exercise, if you did it along with me, to understand the difference when you go back to learning something new, when you have those decades of wisdom and knowledge. I know sometimes I look back at where I was when I was in corporate, when I was 20 and 30, and, you know, you're still trying to make your place. So you're vying for attention and credibility, and you're trying to learn, and you're trying to look like you know everything. And so you're rushing, and it's struggle. It's a bigger struggle to learn something. Whereas when you have that wisdom, you know, I can go back and go, wow, if I walked into a meeting or a boardroom today, I would be a completely different person because I have decades and decades of experience. I understand what's right. I understand the path ahead. I can see the vision. I know how to get there. I understand how to treat the people around me, and I know how to make an impact. And that does not come from being young. That comes from being experienced. So let's take some time to really push this in. So I want you to go to write. Okay, so I'm going to give you some prompts. I call prompts questions. And prompts just means I'm going to prompt you to write something without editing. Okay, no editing here. So here we go. What am I a beginner at right now? Right now, what are you a beginner at? And what shame comes up when I admit that? Take your time. I'm not going to help you out here. I'm going to ask you what shame comes up when you're trying to learn something new in this specific thing. So I've asked you to pick a specific topic. Take your time. Stop this video, this recording, if you're watching recorded, and make sure that you pick something that you really are trying to learn. It could be a business skill. It could be a tech skill. It could be a sporting skill. It could be nutrition or working out or walking, or it could be learning AI, whatever it is. And what shame comes from not knowing that? Or what makes you feel uncomfortable while you're learning it? When you've done that, I want you to ask yourself, what if being a beginner was an advantage, not a deficit? Think about that. What if being a beginner in what you're learning was an advantage and not a deficit? How would that play out? Are you better at organizing how to learn? Are you better at structuring time? Are you much more gentle with yourself? Are you recognizing what you need help with and asking, what is it? What is the advantage of being a beginner right now? What's the advantage? When you've written all those prompts, I want you to read what you wrote. And I want you to notice how your body feels. Is there a relief? Is there a resistance? All of it's valid. I just want you to recognize, because one of the greatest things that we can give ourselves is recognizing our body's reaction to things. Our body tells us a lot. How we hold stress, right? Some days we don't feel well. I know that when I'm having a day that I just feel off, I feel kind of like, right before you get sick, you have that day that you don't feel great. And I know that generally speaking, I'm not getting sick. Generally speaking, that's the day that I feel stressed. That is sort of all piling on. And then I just feel off that day. And then the next day, when I've worked on relieving the stress or being gentle with myself, I feel back to normal. So what is it that your body's telling you about what you just wrote? Okay. Now we're going to do what I like to call the beginner's advantage exercise. And this is how you go from, you reframe beginner status into power. So number one, I want you to name what you're learning. So I'll write it down specifically. I am learning X. So I am learning AI. I am learning how to eat nutritionally. I am learning, a new language. Be very, very specific. That's number one. Okay. Number two is I want you to name what you're bringing to it. So what experience do you have that applies? Okay. So I am bringing this specific experience to this new skill. So for example, when I'm learning something new, I know that what I bring is the knowledge of how to stage what I need in sequences and ask for help when I'm learning, or I know how to research. So I am bringing a research skill to this new skill. Think about it. What are you bringing? What specific experience are you bringing to this new skill that will change things? And then I want you to connect them. So I am learning AI and I am bringing research skill to it. That's my advantage, right? Or I am learning digital marketing and I'm bringing 20 years of understanding executive decision making. That's my advantage. So think about it. What can you say? I want you to read it out loud 3 times because I want your nervous system to hear it. Okay? So let's do that. Let's do that digital marketing one since it's simple. I am learning digital marketing and I'm bringing 20 years of understanding executive decision making, and that's my advantage. I want you to really think about what your advantage is. And I want you to, when you've got that, share it publicly. Don't hide your beginner status, claim it. So post it either on the social media, tell a friend, send an email, put it in our community group. I am learning this skill as a beginner, but I'm bringing decades of experience to it. And I want you to really really own it. Got that? Okay. Seems like a shorter Sunday morning today. We're almost done, but it's because I really want this lesson to sink in. I do not want you to be distracted. As you know, when we moved into 2026, um, we are working more on prompts and journaling than we are on movement because I'm hoping for those of you who've been with us all last year that you're starting to move and you're understanding that your body is really important. We might end up putting some back. I don't know. You guys tell me. Why don't you write in the comments if you want me to add some movement back in. But right now, I want you to take a moment and I want you to reflect of what came up for you during this practice. What's the one thing that you are taking away? Think about it. What's the one thing you're taking away from what we've been talking about? And as we go through the week, I want you to use this mantra. Okay. I want you to say to yourself, I'm a beginner, but I bring wisdom to the work. So let's say that again. Let's say it 3 times. I'm a beginner and I bring wisdom to this work. I'm a beginner and I bring wisdom to this work. You know, I've been thinking a lot in the last couple of days. I grew up in corporate, spent most of my career in corporate until I switched over to consulting and other things. And, I've always thought that, corporate is behind me. It's a young person's game. And then what I realized this week was I could be a beginner if I wanted to start again, right? I could be a beginner, but I'd bring so much wisdom to it and it would be so much easier. And if I owned or I was the VP or the CEO of a large corporation, personally, I would hire an older person with experience right now because the learning curve is so much shorter and they can bring wisdom and knowledge and you can get things done quickly. So if you are retired or you're on your second act and you're considering either going back to corporate or doing something else, it is your time. There's plenty of time and so many people need your knowledge. They need your wisdom. They need you to understand what we've just done today, that you have this massive advantage, even if you walked into a company that you didn't know what exactly they did or they made or they serviced, right? Or you started a new business and you didn't really know much about it. It doesn't matter because you are so far ahead of the curve because of all the knowledge you have and what you're bringing into it. So, all right, that's it for this week's ritual. Thank you for honoring the beginner in you. It's very, very important. This is really brave work. So you guys show up every week and I know it's not that long, right? But that's why I want to keep it into small chunks because if I can take 10, 15 minutes of your time, right? And start really building that mindset that you can change. You can go into your second act with doing something exciting and new, but you don't have to feel shame or guilt about not knowing because I want you to own your beginner status. I don't want you to hide it. I don't want you to apologize for it. I want you to claim it. I'm a beginner and that's my advantage. Okay. If you want to go deeper into this work, you can join our inner circle. And this week on Backstage, we're sharing some skills that we learned as beginners and why it's kind of humbling. So that is in the group and you can go ahead and access it if you're part of our community. And don't forget on Mondays, we start in LinkedIn with Spark. So this is how it goes so you guys can understand the ecosystem. On Mondays, if you check out Spark on LinkedIn, so go to my LinkedIn profile, Faye Chappell, look up the newsletter Spark, subscribe, it's free. You can also go to Substack, which is another take on the same sort of thing. So you can subscribe to either one. Each week we do a different theme. So we start with the learning. So Monday is Substack and LinkedIn. And as you see us through the week, you'll see we move into Wednesday's Too Late My Ass podcast, where we go a little more in depth in this subject. We do our backstage with Stacy, my producer, and my co-founder, and we work on the same theme. And then, of course, on Sunday, this is our ritual, and this is where we really do some work to make it sink in. So if you enjoy that, this is the pattern every single week. So we take one theme, we work it through the week to reinforce it, and we hit all your learning curves. Okay. So we hit whether you're video, you're a visual learner, you're an audio learner. So we take the podcast, or you like to read. And there's a lot of us that still love to read, including me. So any way you can join us, I'm thrilled that you are. This is your journey. This is for you. And this is a way for you to understand that over 50, retired, you name it, you are well worth it. You have so much more to do, to give, to share. And I hope that you are recognizing that and you're ready to do it. So please go through this week remembering that your beginner advantage is the fact that you have this wisdom and knowledge that you are bringing to the table. So enjoy your week. Can't wait to see you on Monday, and make sure that you take the time to spend on yourself. And with that, our time together comes to a close. Thank you for showing up for yourself today. Take that feeling of this space with you and let it guide your actions and reactions this week. I'm Faye Chappell. On behalf of everyone here at Elevated Living, I'm wishing you a week of profound peace and clarity. This episode was produced by the City Media Group.